Alright, well, I'm working on this thing. I may have something here. I don't know. I'm about to find out, though. I'm working on this thing. I may have something here. I don't know. I'm about to find out,
Go.
though. I'm working on this thing. I may have something here. I don't know. I'm about to find out.
Go.
I'm working on this thing. I may have
Properties from browser. Okay. Let's try something here. Let's try something here. And it still doesn't work. Why doesn't it work? No, I don't, Jerry. Still trying to do the overlay on the screen. And I think I sort of got it figured out, maybe. Well, maybe not. Let's try this. Nope, still not showing up. Alright, let me try something else here. Hang on a minute. Drop that. Yeah, right? That's funny. Yeah, right? That's funny. Why the hell isn't this going through? Why the hell isn't this going through? Well, I'm trying to do the overlay. When I click on, when you guys, the overlay. When I click on, it should do an overlay on the screen, but it's not. It should do an overlay on, and I don't know why. And I don't know why. It's driving me nuts too. Yeah, I know. It's because I got the. Yeah, I know.
I'll fix
It's 'cause
that
I got
in a minute.
the. Yeah, I know. Fix that in a minute. That should take care of the echo. No more echo. Why the hell is this thing not working? That's enough to drive you nuts. I know. It's cool. Because, like I said, I took this too seriously. I'd have probably threw it out in the street already. But I'm going to try and I'm going to make this work one way or the other. Probably going to be the other because the one way ain't working. There's nothing happening there. I don't know why. Maybe I gotta put... source. Alright, the source is here. Maybe. Nope, still not working. And I don't know why. Why doesn't it go below that? Not making a difference. Ah, it's enough to drive you nuts. Hey, Ken, how you doing? Well, okay, that didn't work, so... turn that off. Why isn't this working? Yeah, I know, I had it up on the stream, but that's not what I wanted it to do. It's just supposed to do, like, if I click on something, it should come up. And it kind of comes up here. And you guys there, show you what I'm seeing here. See, that's what I'm doing. Yeah, I'm trying to highlight a chat. And for some reason, it's just not working. And I don't really know why. It's very confusing. So, I don't know what's going on here, why it's not working. I did everything it said on the instructions, but yet, it's not doing it. It should be putting it right up on the main screen. Any visits from Heath? No. I could blame Heath anyway. That would do it. Yes, it would. I really don't know. I'm very seriously confused on this thing. It should work. I don't know why it's not. Very strange. Unless I got the wrong session number. What is the session number? Huh. Is there a session number on this? Well, that would be it right here. So hey, Weatherman Harry, how's it going? Shout out to Vinny, he knows a lot. Actually, Heath does. Yeah, I know there are a lot of there's a lot of issues with the plugins, but I mean it works for Heath, it works for Tom. Well, Tom's not using OBS, but Heath is, and I've seen it work for other guys. So clearly, I'm probably doing something wrong. Obviously, I just don't know what. But I'm going to figure it out one way or the other. Yeah, multi-screen's easy to do. I've been able to work out everything except for this one problem. He may not. Yeah, he may not have version 28. I don't know. Because I know one of the biggest issues, you know, I've got the Stream Deck, you know, this thing here. And every time I fire up OBS, the Stream Deck doesn't work. So I have to shut OBS down, do a repair on the OBS file, reopen OBS, and it works. I don't understand why. Obviously, it's something's not right with it, and they haven't updated. There's no updates for anything yet, so I don't know what's going on. He said it's a little aggravating. Okay, it's not that. It's not behind there because I was wondering maybe it was behind it. Well, this may be a problem here. Paste that in, see what happens. I'm running the latest version. Is it 28.2, I think? Or 28.1? I just did an update on OBS a few days ago. And it still doesn't work. Why doesn't it work? I don't get it. I may have to work out something completely different here. I don't know. This doesn't seem, no matter what I do here, it doesn't work. And it should. We go back to the instructions again. see something I might have screwed up on. Yep, I did do. Forgot the dot. Don't know if it'd make a difference or not, but it might. Guessing from what I read, a lot of the plugins have not been updated to work with 28. I've read the same thing, Stephen. 28.0.3, that's the one I have then, Ken. Instructions, we don't need no stinking instructions. Yeah, on this we really do. It doesn't work otherwise. And it should be coming up on the screen, and yet it's not. And I don't know why. But I'm damn sure going to find out eventually. Another weird thing too. Now you guys, I know some of you guys do live streams. Or even if you don't even have to do live stream, when you pull up a live stream, just one that you're watching, do you have, is there a, for me, get this right here, on the chat box, it takes a minute or two before the chat box populates. In other words, it's blank when I first open up the live stream. And it doesn't matter whether I'm doing the live stream or whether I'm watching somebody else's live stream. Is anybody else having a similar problem? Not here. Okay, so it could be my computer too. I don't know. But now it couldn't be because it does the same thing on the main computer in the house. So I don't know what's going on. Maybe it's my connection, although I got a decent connection, internet-wise, so I don't know what's going on. That's Florida's Comcast. Yeah, it could be, Frank. I don't know. It's very strange when you really get down to it. I don't know what the hell. I mean, it's just... It's a little frustrating, if you know what I mean. Rant, rant, rant. Yeah, that's a good rant for Thursday, I'll tell you what. I do not understand why the hell this is not bringing it up there. It should be. What the hell am I doing wrong? Oh, man. Browser docs. I don't have a dot there either. Wait a minute, what happened? Alright, Social Stream Ninja. Put a dot in there. Maybe that'll make a difference. Probably not, but it was worth a shot. Nope, still not working. And I have no idea why. The guy who wrote this software for this overlay, it's called Social Stream, and apparently not quite as good as he thought it was. I'm guessing. Now, if I click over here. Site settings, nothing wrong with any of that. I think I'll spoof the other guys by screenshotting their backgrounds and using them on my own while wearing their shirts. That's kind of funny. That's cool. Whenever my CAD CAM programs have issues, I just remove software and reinstall it. It seems to fix it. I tried that already too, Ken, with this. Because I figured, I know all the tricks too. And for some reason, they're just not working. I don't know why. It seems so simple, but yet it's not. Back to the damn instructions again. There is an and dark mode, but the default is white for the dock. Alright. And dark mode there. But no dark mode there. Social stream .ninja. Index HTML. Maybe I should leave that open. Yeah, where was that button he was talking about? Huh. I don't see that button anywhere. I don't know. Alright, Frank, thanks for stopping by. We'll see you later. Drive careful. What the hell? What's up?
Oh, hi, Coco. Are you streaming?
I'm online right now.
Oh, okay. I just want to say hi.
Oh, alright, hi. Pull it hard. Let's see. Hey, Daryl, how you doing? At least I caught you live to say hi and hello since you're Thursday. Difficult to catch because I'm on the road. I see this as a test stream. Yeah, I'm working on a couple of things. They're trying to get it straightened out. Easier said than done. Ultimately, I may figure it out, but I don't know. Try bumping that off. Ooh, I just saw something. That was interesting. What session is that? That's the question. I should be able to do that with the pop-out session on that. that black box bumped in there for a minute too. I don't know why. Just trying to figure out. Well, I'm trying to bring up a chat question up on the screen. Yeah, you see that all the time. Somebody says something and you click on it and it'll put the thing up on the screen where you can see it and who it's from. And for some reason, it's not working. And I've been working on this now for quite a while. And I'm going to figure it out, damn it, because I'm very stubborn. Or if maybe I'm not getting the whole thing. Try that. Copy. Now you guys probably see that black box pop up there momentarily, but it's still not coming up on the screen. I wonder. It's not under there. Yeah, I'm very stubborn. This is like it's a challenge now. Or an obsession, more like it. I don't get it. I don't use OBS, OSB, oh yeah, OBS. Just use StreamYard. Don't think it could be much help. Like I said, you can do this in StreamYard. And I know someone, I think it was Jerry, maybe. Somebody's telling me you can use OBS in StreamYard. And maybe I should try that. I'm not sure how to do it. I'll have to look into it, but because StreamYard is automatic and you don't have that problem. All right, Ken, have a good one, man. Working on wife's Prius. Not fun. Well, good luck with that, and we'll see you next time. Thanks for stopping in. And when you, Jerry, I'm not sure who it was, but somebody was telling me that they used it, and like I said, I don't know what the hell. It's not that big of a deal. It's just something I'd like to have. I mean, I know you guys don't care one way or the other. You know, it's not like you said, it's not that big of a deal. But it would be nice to be able to do it because I got so used to doing it when I was on StreamYard. So, and like I said, I've been able to figure out everything else on OBS, just not this. And I don't know why. That's a little aggravating. I see I could bring up the chat screen on here. I'm sure you can see that. But I don't want the whole screen. I just want to be able to bring up just the question. And it just doesn't work, and I don't know why. Damn strange. I don't understand why you don't use what other people are using so they can help you through it. That's a damn good question, Jerry. And like I said, maybe I'm just too stubborn. I don't know. But I will always figure something out if I put my mind to it. Sometimes it takes a while, but I do eventually figure things out. So I don't think this is really going to be any different. I just wish I didn't have to go online to do it, but there's no other way to actually test it. So it's kind of strange. Like I said, I'm not doing something right here. I don't know where they're getting that from. Open Twitch or YouTube pop-out chat. It's going to be a Facebook Live. Well, that's on Facebook. Then press Social Steam Chrome extension button and enable streaming of that data. I thought I already did that. Go back to extensions. Details. Allow access to followers, collect errors, extension options. Wonder if that has anything to do with anything. Let's find out. That's going to make me mad that I had to do that. Hey, Dicker, back on again, huh? Well, if you can bring up chat, you should be able to bring up comment on the screen. You would think, right? And yet, it's still not happening. And I don't know why. Okay, so that didn't do much good. However, go back to custom browser docs. Oops. Paste that on there. Oh shit. That wasn't supposed to happen. I might have screwed that up. Hey, Steven. Okay, still not working. Bring this up here. Copy. Okay. Custom browser docs. Paste. Apply. Close. Back up here. And still nothing. And I have no idea why. Need to bring that up here. It's still not working. I have no idea why. Just 3 more Saturdays left of videoing my train at club for taking down a new building. Oh wow. The new building going to be more permanent, or is it another temporary thing? Oh. 1100 by 1200. Do you have another channel? Yeah, he's got Waycross. set. We're moving to a building. The layout is going to be built, and old is going to the same place to where the excursion train is at. Oh, cool. Why do I have Elgato's theme deck here twice? Huh. I get rid of that? No. Scripts. No, that's not it. Captions? No. See what happens when I do that. General. Okay. Stream. I can't really do anything with that. I tell you, everything is normal on this for all the settings and stuff. That's not bad, Scott. 83 views to start. Once you get popular, you'll see how your views will change and your subscribers and everything else. Oh, what the hell am I doing wrong here? to the instructions. Oh, that's nice to know. Many extension types will conflict with social stream, causing certain functions to fail. I didn't read that earlier. So well, this is bullshit. So I should probably shut down all the extensions. And gotta leave that on. Okay, that may make a difference, maybe not. No, didn't make any difference. Why not? Oh yeah, it works in StreamYard because before I went over to OBS, StreamYard was working fine, but the problem is you don't have the Stream Deck that I use for the effects. They don't really work on StreamYard. So because of that, I really had to go to OBS. So that's one of the unfortunate problems with that. Huh. I may just have to accept the fact that this isn't going to work. Not putting it behind it. That's interesting. Yeah, he might be able to. I may have to look him up on this. Because whatever I'm doing is not working. Yeah, it just ain't working. Of course, that'll take the fun out of figuring out myself, won't it? You know what? Let me try something here. Okay, I'll try something else. Well, that sort of works, huh? But not, probably. Well, yeah, could be. I'll get rid of that. Nope, still not working right. And you're probably right, Jerry, to some degree. That's what I'm saying. I'm not quite sure how I want to do this. Is your flux capacitor fully charged? I have no idea. Not everybody is watching on a 55-inch TV. 42, Jerry. I got a 55 though. It's a replacement for this one when this one dies. It's sitting in the garage. You thought this one was big. A 55 is much bigger than a 42. Let me try something else here. Let's see. See if that makes a difference. I think that black thing just popped up and it went away. Oh yeah, if you're on a phone, that kind of really sucks. I can't watch it on the phone. I mean, it just... And I have a big screen on my phone, but... No, it's just... I mean, if I had to, I would, but I'd prefer not to. I watch on a laptop, but some use a phone. That's true. Yeah, laptop's bad enough. I got one of those too with a, I think that's got a 17-inch screen on it. And it's still kind of small for me, but I'm just spoiled, I guess, and so used to watching on the big screen that I can't really do anything else. Son of a bitch, why is this not working? I don't get it. Let me try this. That's true too, Daryl. Like I said, it's kind of cool to have it. I like it, you know. That's why I wanted to continue doing it, but I don't know why this is just not working. I don't get it. Yeah, Hey, day now. Well, that's the same. That's the same. That's cruel, Jerry. That's weird. Huh. Well, I don't know. There's something screwy here. Hey Al, how's it going? My calendar broke. Hey Al, how's it going? Sounds like a personal problem. My calendar. Hey Al, sounds like a personal problem. Hey Al, how you doing? Damn,
Hey
this
Al,
thing
how you
sucks.
doing?
Damn, this thing sucks. Well, everything is correct there. Everything is correct there. Still not coming up. I don't know why. Still not coming up. I don't know why. Yeah, that's another good point, Gerald. I said there's probably pros and cons on both ends of it. And like I said, I would just like to get it up and running. Probably pros and cons on both ends. But I just don't understand why it's not working. I would just like to get it up and running. But I just don't understand why it's not working. Up and running. You guys getting any echo right now? That's good, Digger. Thanks. I'll tell you, I'm really confused here. I have no idea. Gerald, the good host usually follows the chat. Whether one person message shows up on the screen really doesn't make for a better stream. Yeah, that could be. Like I said, it's probably more personal preference than anything else. I always thought it was cool though to bring up the message because it was it was important. It had some importance to it, so I brought it up and everybody can see it. I mean, in theory, you should see it in the chat either way. But it was just kind of nice. I don't know. And I'm going to go back to the instructions again and see if I can't figure this damn thing out. Some screens the chat is small. That's true. Like I said, if you're on a phone, that's got to be really rough to try and follow it. Still nothing. What the hell? I'm running out of things to try here. Well, I don't know. Hey, Ethan, how you doing? Haven't seen you in a while, man. Or heard from you in a while. Well, that's good to hear, Ethan. Glad you're doing good. Now, I have a 13-inch monitor in the garage, and I was thinking about dragging that out and using the second screen, but I have to put a video card in my computer because this one can only handle one monitor. So, thanks, Ethan. I don't know. It's aggravating as all hell. I know. That's all I know. Well, this isn't StreamYard, Ethan. This is OBS, and I haven't figured out how to take on a guest yet, so we'll have to wait. Mine supports 3. Yeah, the one in my house, it supports 4. Because I got a higher end card in that one, but this one here, the card is built into the motherboard, so it only handles 1. So I'd have to put an external, or an add-on card to get more monitors. And I may do that at some point. I don't know. It'd probably be down the road a ways in a few months. I really can't afford it right now. You see the price of video cards lately? They've gone through the roof. If anybody's still curious about what I was printing, it's these here. It's a log load. And they should paint up real nice. And they're perfect for the flat car. So, if anybody's interested in buying them, they're $3 each plus shipping. Let's see. What else is going on? Thanks, Jerry. They do look good, I thought. Like I said, Wilmer, he bought 4 of them. I got them packed up ready to ship out tomorrow. So I don't know what he's got planned for him, but I'm sure he has something good. How much did you have to clean up that log load? No cleaning at all on it. This is the way it came out right out of the machine, out of the printer. I spent some time to get the size right, and so I didn't really have to worry about, there's no slag on there or any imperfections in there, all that I could see. Hey, plumber, how's it going? Taking a break from Timonian, are you? All right, Ethan. We'll see you later. Thanks for stopping by. Sclerosis. Okay. Oh, SCL 1970. That's bad, plumber. Come on. The truck broke down waiting for... Oh, man, that sucks. How far do you have to go to get home? That's the voice to text, Jim. Oh, okay. Oh, 70 miles. That's a long ways. You got AAA, or you got to have to pay that out of pocket? Insurance is paying up to 200 miles. That's cool. Because if you had to pay that out of pocket, it sets you back a few hundred probably. Not cheap to get a car towed anymore. Bogo. Mr. Bogo. Oh yeah, definitely. Yeah, they bend you right over on that one. Not fun at all. Any idea what happened to the truck? Why it quit running? Hopefully it's nothing serious. Yeah, I hear that, plumber. I may have to add that on to my car insurance pretty soon because my car's getting up in age, and you know. My wife used to have AAA, and I could have used that, but she let that drop, so. And I'm not real impressed with AAA anyway. Squirrel died. Yeah, Cheryl. Hey, come on, his truck ain't that old, I don't think. Not necessarily, Jerry. It depends. You know, it's funny because when I lived in Naples, my insurance was cheaper than it is up here in Sebring. And they used to go by population density. Well, Sebring only has 86,000 people for population. Naples has 187,000. But for some reason, US 27, which is the main strip here, they call it Bloody 27. Nobody does a speed limit. Speed limit's high anyway, you know, through town. It's like 60. Everybody does 80 and 90, including me. So if you get in a wreck here, usually somebody dies. Yeah, Tampa would be high too, Gerald, because of the population. But my insurance went up quite a bit moving up here. I was kind of pissed off, but what are you going to do? Well, yeah, like I said, there's 27, which is our main strip through town. It's 6 lanes. And, you know, people drive like idiots up here, which I'm right at home because I drive like an idiot too. But I tend not to wreck my car, though. You know, some of these morons, they don't look. They run stop signs. Some of them run red lights, so you really got to be careful while you're driving. And it's even tougher when you're doing 80, 90 mile an hour to begin with, you know. Yeah, USAA is good insurance, but don't you have to have either you or a family member have to be in the military or been in the military, have to be a veteran? I could have got it when my dad was still alive through him, but after he passed, I blew my chances because I never served, unfortunately, so I don't qualify. Well, you know, I don't know. They must have thought that it was going to be a big town or something. It's really not, but and the traffic's not bad here at all. Beware of blue hairs. Yeah, they're not as big as a problem here as they were in Naples. or frogheads we call them, They can see the top of their head over the steering wheel. But going to load videos of my switching at club yesterday. That's cool. I drive like to people driving next to me. Like I said, I've always been a fast driver. I'm a good driver. I'm very, very skilled at driving. If it can be done in a car, chances are I've probably already done it, But you really got to have eyes in the back of your head up here, because people, they're idiots. They don't look. They don't care. They'll be right next to you, go swinging right in your lane, You always have to have one hand on the horn just in case. At least you can let them know to get the hell out of your way. That is what it is, And I'll tell you what, funny thing is, we used to bitch about people from Ohio coming down here, because for many years, most of our tourists were from Ohio. And I had not been up to Ohio prior to that. And I'm thinking to myself, man, that state must really suck, man. These people don't know how to drive. They drive slow. They don't use turn signals. They don't look. Right? And I'm thinking, that's crazy. So the first time I went up to Ohio, I was in Cincinnati. It was raining like a bitch. Couldn't see past the hood of the car. Everybody's doing 90. And it wasn't an interstate. No, was that on 75? Might have been 75. I don't remember. But and there was a lot of cars on the road. And you had to keep up with them, because if you tried to do the speed limit, you'd wind up getting yourself killed. So I had no issue with it. But it was just crazy. And the further I went into Ohio, the worse the drivers were. I mean, they drive like nutcases up there. They speed. They don't look, of course, but they do drive fast, I'm thinking. So I theorized that Ohio people come here for vacation so they can relax from driving like crazy people. Therefore, they drive slow and stupid down here, And it's really weird. It's funny. And Jersey's the same way. Now, I'm from Jersey. And you want to have a fast car in Jersey, because you better get the hell out of the way or you're going to get hit. Daryl says, I've been in quite a few accidents. No body damage because they eat my 44 mud terrain tires. Well, that's cool. 44s, big tires. Never had 44s. I had a full drive, had 42s on it. Or 40s, excuse me. 40 mud hogs. And I was sitting pretty high too, but I couldn't afford to put the 44s on it. I wanted to, though. I had a 71. Was it 71? No, 74. 1974. International Travelall. I bought the truck, full drive. I bought the truck for $100. Drove it home. It was completely stock. And first thing I did was put a chassis lift on, or chassis lift, and then the axle lift, and bigger tires, steel bumpers, front and rear tube bumpers, and I really did it. Big foot or big wheel. But like I said, knock wood, I've only been in 2 accidents in my entire life, and I didn't cause them. I got rear-ended by a drunk when I had my caddy, and that guy was lucky he lived through it. He went through the windshield. He was driving a Chevette, and I was driving a big Cadillac. What the hell was that thing? No, not the Eldorado, the other one. The 4-door Brougham. Big sled. And it totaled my car. So you can imagine what it did to that Chevette. And like I said, he was laying out on the hood when I stopped. I drove home, even though my car was technically totaled. But he wasn't going anywhere. I mean, it knocked the engine clean out of his car. He hit me at 70 miles an hour, they estimated. I was only doing 15. I just came off the light. So that was the one. And what was the other one? Oh, yeah. Well, it sort of was my fault, but I got away with it because I was backing up, and I had my Impala at the time. And I had what they call a California rake. The rear end was way up in the air. If you looked in the rearview mirror, all you could see was the clouds. That's how high the back was. I was backing out of a driveway onto a main road, and I hit this Ford Gran Torino. I hit it right on the corner post of the windshield. Totaled his car. Just folded it. I only hit it like 2 miles an hour. Did no damage to my car at all. So I went and knocked on the door. She, is that your car? He says, yeah, why? So I just totaled it. That guy was kind of pissed off, but not really. And that was the first clue that there's something not wrong. He says, well, you have insurance, right? He says, yeah, I do. I said, but I want to call the sheriff because I want them to document this because this is a serious accident. So he was real hesitant about bringing a cop in. I said, well, you don't have a choice here. We're going to get a cop here. So the city cops came out, and they were ready. I mean, I got a ticket for illegal backing, whatever the hell that is. It was $20. But they were going to nail me with the wreck because technically it would have been my fault. But I'm standing, I look down the ground, I see a square hole in the ground. I start looking around, and there's signs, except for where his car is parked, saying, do not park because anybody coming out of the driveways. No, they didn't really care back then, Jerry. You could get he got away with a lot of stuff. My rear bumper, I think, was about almost 4 foot high off the ground. It was high. The car was raked. But so anyway, I called the cop over. I says, is there supposed to be a sign here? And he looks down, he looks around, he says, yeah, there is. I said, well, I think this guy's, doing something illegal here. I said, why don't you look into that? So they did. They found out that insurance had paid him like 5 different times over a few years for his cars getting totaled in the exact same spot. We did. He pulled the signs out, parked the car, because the car wasn't there when I pulled into the driveway across the street from him. And that's why I didn't really think there would be, and I saw the signs, I didn't think anybody would be there. And I couldn't see behind me too well anyway. So, anyway, they carted him off to jail for insurance fraud. They arrested him on the spot. I got away with all I got was a stupid illegal backup ticket. And the accident was his fault, so, But that's the only 2 times I've ever been in a wreck, And it's really lucky, I guess. But I'm very observant when I'm on the road. I mean, my eyes are everywhere when I'm driving. So, because like I said, people here, they're idiots. Some of them, I don't know how they got their driver's licenses because they shouldn't have them. But I miss my 4-wheel drive, by the way. I twisted the frame in that thing. It was a 3/4 ton truck. And I bought a Ford Bronco. I paid $300 for it. It had a brand new 302 in it. Brand new, never been started. The guy who brought the thing in the mechanic abandoned it, and the mechanic sold it to me, so he got a mechanic's lien, so I was able to transfer it in my name. And I sold the engine for $600 because I wanted to take everything out of my International and put in that. So I literally stripped the running gear out of that Bronco, put my 3/4 ton axles underneath the Bronco, which took some serious modification, by the way. And I was running a Cadillac 472 engine in it because the International motor didn't like water. Every time I swear, if you spit on the engine, it would quit running. So I put a Cadillac engine and transmission in it. Had drive shafts made for it. And it was a runner, let me tell you. It was a damn good truck. But I put everything in the Bronco, and all my friends sold their trucks. And you know, one thing you don't do is go out four-wheeling by yourself and I didn't have a winch. So going out there would have been stupid. If I'd have got stuck, I'd probably lost the truck. So I wound up selling the damn thing. I kind of wish now that I didn't, though. I wish I'd have kept it. And it was probably the only Ford Bronco you see with 3/4 ton running gear in it. And I tell you, international differentials are literally indestructible. I had a Dana 40 in the rear, no, Dana 40 in the front, and a Dana 60 in the rear. So, and they were it was true four-wheel drive. They had lockers in them. So when you locked it in, you had four wheels pulling. A lot of four-wheel drives are just basically two wheels, one here, you know. And I very rarely got stuck, but when I got stuck, I got stuck. I got stuck in silt sand once. And I said I had 40s on there, the mud hogs. And I just couldn't go anywhere. I mean, it just spun the tires. It wouldn't break loose with that silt sand. It took 4 trucks to pull me out. One guy had a Ford F-250 four-wheel drive long bed. He blew his transmission out pulling me. Another friend had he had a Bronco, or no, he had a Blazer, Chevy Blazer. He actually broke the transmission in half. He was still able to drive it, but I had to buy him a new transmission. Well, I used one. I felt bad for him. And a guy with a Jeep, he busted an axle. It was a disaster. I was stuck out there for about 9 hours. It was a disaster, you know. But I was determined I wasn't leaving my truck out there because it would have been target practice for anybody that would have happened along. Daryl said I drive a Ford Crew Cab 350 2004 4x4. I watched the gas gauge move just rolling down the street. Yeah, that's a big truck, Daryl. But, you know, it'll get you where you gotta go, though. Like, you probably pull your house with it if you needed to. Personally, I like Ford trucks. I think Ford makes a good truck. You know, I got a Ford Ranger out front, but I bought used, and the thing's got like 240,000 miles on it. Air works great. Everything works in it. I mean, the paint job's not bad. And the only thing I've done to it so far was I replaced the water pump, both hoses, and the fan clutch. Even though it didn't actually need a fan clutch, but the mechanic, and I'm a mechanic too, and I should have known, I didn't want to fool with it. I'm getting at that age where I just don't want to deal with shit, you know. And I sent it to a mechanic, and they couldn't get the fan off of it. So I'm thinking it's an easy fan to get off. They're left-handed thread. You know, you tap it with a hammer and, you know, the wrench, and it breaks loose and it spins right out. Oh no, it's screwed up. Well, I said, you know what? I should tell you, I'll just put it back together. I'll come and get it. You know, I don't know what the hell they were trying to do. They already wanted $400 to replace the water pump, and so I got it back here. I drove it back to the house and started taking it apart a couple of days later, and the fan came right off with no problem, you know. And they destroyed the fan pump pulley. Looks like they put a pair of vice grips on it or something and literally destroyed it. I had to go to Ford to get a new one. And the whole thing was I had them put a lower radiator hose on it about a week earlier. And when I got ready to pull the pump, I went to pull the hose off, and I went to loosen the clamp, and the clamp just slid over, and I'm going, oh, son of a bitch. You know. asshole never tightened the upper clamp on the lower radiator hose. That's where it was leaking at, but it was spraying up, and it looked like it was coming out of the weep hole at the bottom of the pump. So I went ahead and placed it anyway because I figured, hey, 240,000 miles is probably going to need a pump anyway, you know. So I bought a new belt, new water pump, new fan clutch, even though there's nothing wrong with it, because I bought the parts before I took any of it apart. I was so pissed off at that mechanic. So the lesson there is do it myself. I don't trust anybody. And up here in Sebring, I mean, most of these people are idiots. They're very incompetent. Well, I see that in so many businesses that it's like I won't see any doctors up here for the same reason. I don't trust them. Plumber says 09 Ford Explorer Eddie Bauer edition. Ooh, that's nice. You guys got too much money, man. Those aren't cheap trucks. You know? That's the only bad thing about the Ford trucks. Well, I guess all the trucks are just crazy expensive anyway anymore. Gerald says in Korea, my USAF pickup truck was a Dodge 1-ton, 10-foot bed crew cab. 10-foot bed? Wow, that's long. It was a bitch to drive on little Korean roads. Yeah, I bet it was. Oh, man. Oh, did I say something else? Oh, I meant 09. I must look like, yeah, I didn't see it right. My fault. I stand corrected. Still, it's nice. Yeah. Like you said, these trucks ain't cheap. I wanted to buy an F-150, but even the used ones, they wanted crazy money for. And I'm thinking, no. You know. Because I just wanted it to haul crap with. I mean, because I was tired of using my car as a truck. Hey, Derek, how's it going? So, I wound up going back to Naples to buy the Ranger. And it's an 03. And I paid $1,400 for it. You know? Derek says, Daryl, remind me not to drive with you. You don't want to drive with me either, because I scare most people. Daryl says, my truck cost me about $300 a week to fuel. Holy Christ. Did you win the lottery, man? Where do you get all that money from? Jeez, that's crazy. I almost wish you had a diesel instead, huh? And I'd love to have a diesel truck, but they're like way, way over my budget. Yeah, that's a lot. That's crazy money, ain't it, Kyle? Yeah, I know gas prices are up too. I filled up the tank in my car. It holds 22 gallons, and it cost me almost $70. If it were empty, I never let it get empty, but. Kyle says you don't want diesel trucks, too much trouble. I don't know, well, maybe they are now, I don't know, but, I'm sort of old school on that stuff. My idea of a diesel is something without electronics, without a catalytic converter, a real engine. And those old diesels, they'd go a million miles, literally without any problems. As long as it wasn't a Detroit diesel. Detroit diesels suck. But, if you get a cat or something like that, they're gonna run you. They're gonna run a long time and not much maintenance on them other than oil changes here and there. But gas prices almost $7 and diesel is almost $8 a gallon. What are you out in California? I know they're real high out there. Here it's $3.29 a gallon for regular here, and diesel I think is $3.90 or something like that. It's under $4, but not much under. Come on, Daryl, spit it out. Yep, South Carolina, or California. I figured you gotta get the fuck out of there, man. California sucks. Never been there. Never will be there for that matter. Between the crazy prices and the liberals running the place and the earthquakes, it just doesn't seem like a good place to live. I wonder why they charge so much for gas. That's really unusual. That's unnecessary. Well, I'm right. I mean, I remember when diesel was cheaper than gas. I think gas at that point was, oh hell, I don't even remember now. It was $1 something a gallon. And diesel, I think, was under $1. It was dirt cheap, And then something happened, and next thing you know, I see Gerald says he remembers when diesel was less than 20 cents. That's probably before my time, Daryl or Gerald, or maybe close to it. I remember 25 cents a gallon gas, and I don't know what they were getting for diesel at that time. But it could have been, yeah, that'd probably be about right, though, because like I said, diesel was cheaper than gasoline. Derek says, but the weather is really nice today, right, Daryl? I don't care how damn nice the weather is. I couldn't afford to live there. Jesus Christ. Going to diesel pickup sex. Daryl says he owned 2 diesel pickups and never again. Cheapest gas I remember seeing was $1.30. You must be pretty young, Kyle. Gerald says kerosene was 17 cents. I don't know that either. Like I said, I only knew gasoline because I had a moped. It had a 1 gallon tank and it cost me 25 cents to fill it from empty. So gas was 25 cents a gallon. Al says I paid $5.30 for heating oil and it's not even cold in man. Not yet, but it will be. Kyle, you're only 26? Damn, kids. Must be nice. Not that I'd want to be that young again, but, if I had the opportunity, I'd probably take it anyway. Yeah, I'm 63, so I got a few years on. I wish gas would just go down. I wish it would go back down to $1 a gallon. I'd be happy. Daryl says, Derek, the weather today is about 65, come Wednesday, 90 degrees. Oh, that sucks. I mean, 65 is good, but the 90, I don't know, but that's too hot. Doesn't even get that hot here, as a rule. We usually have a high of around 80, 85, He got up to 87 the other day. Gerald says, I grew up in upstate New York, farm country. Yeah, it's nice. It's pretty up there. As long as you're not in the city, it's good. New York City sucks, but upstate's nice. I was in Sloatsburg a few years ago, visiting a friend, and it was pretty nice up there. Matter of fact, I think it was a little bit south of Damn, what the hell's his name? That guy that does the choppers, I can't think of his name now. I was tempted to stop in and check him out. That's a good question, Gerald. I assume Austin, Texas. Well, that's night and day, isn't it? Hey, Austin's supposed to be pretty nice too. I've never been there. In all my travels, I never quite made it to Texas. I was actually kicking around moving there before I moved here at Sebring. I just wanted to get away from all the bullshit, you know. Derek says, I'm in Long Island. No kidding. That's cool. My dad was born in Long Island. Kyle Stevens, mid-60s, 70s for highs, and mid-40s to 50s this week coming up for here. Cool. California's a great state if you like high taxes, crime, and political nonsense. Ain't that the fucking truth? I mean, you know, you gotta be, I mean, no offense, man, but you gotta be a lunatic to live there, you know. I couldn't do it, you know. I'd wind up either getting shot or shooting somebody else. Yeah, I'm kind of, what's the word for it? I'm passionate about my politics, you know, and I'm very conservative. So I don't generally get along real well with liberals. You know. Especially these ones that try and come off with all the bullshit, you know. Like climate change and, you know, just stupid stuff. I read today that, I don't think it's happening here yet, but in Europe, in England, they're dumping cartons of milk in the stores. Well, they just open them up and dump them on the floors and the counters in protest because they believe that dairy and meat is destroying the planet's ecosystem. What the hell is wrong with these people? You know? They should be taken out and hung or shot or maybe even both. You know? I mean, you know, people have been drinking milk since the beginning of time and probably eating, you know, cows as well. It hasn't destroyed the planet before. Why would it now? And Daryl says, "Yeah, yes, you do. You do have to be a lunatic to live here. That's true. Let them starve." That's what I say, Gerald. You know what? If you don't want to eat meat, don't. That's more for me. You know, I don't drink milk, but I like cheese and other things that are dairy. And don't screw with my dairy stuff, man. Yeah, I know, Kyle. It's bad. I've watched some of the news. And I don't understand how they put up with that. That would never be tolerated here in Florida. I mean, they'd put them on a barge and send them out to sea. You know. I mean, we have some homeless, not here in Sebring too much, but in Naples, there were some. And they eventually ran them out of town. I think they sent them to Miami. Or back to New York, because I know a lot of them were from New York City. New York City mayor at the time, I don't remember who it was, he was sending them down to Florida. You know, put them on a bus, sent them here, and we sent them back. Let's see. Digger says, yeah, they are crazy people. They are blocking the roads by gluing themselves to the tarmac. They then call themselves Insulate Britain and Extinction Rebellion. Yeah, they're real lunatics, Digger. I can't believe it, you know. And I tell you what, you're right, Derek. The milk was better back then. If somebody lays down in front of my car and they're in the middle of the road and they don't move, they're gonna die that day. Because I'm just gonna run them over. I don't give a shit, you know. We were taught to stay the hell out of the way of cars and trucks and every other thing that was bigger than us. And if you think you're going to block my car, I got news for you. Gerald says, I tell my vegan friends that I am working on the cow fat part problem. I'm eating them as fast as I can. I gotta ask you something, Gerald. I brought this up in one of my Wise Guy videos, okay? They're worried about cow farts. Now, I don't know how many cows there are on the planet, but I'm guessing there's nowhere near 8 billion. All right? Now, people fart too. There's 8 billion people farting all the time. How come people farts aren't as destructive as cow farts? I want to know. I think everybody wants to know. But nobody's been smart enough to ask the question. Yeah, Kyle, you're right. Yeah, here in Alabama, Jim, as soon as a homeless person shows up, police relocate him. Well, that's what you got to do with them, you know? I mean, it's not that I don't really feel bad for them, but you know, I've seen both sides of the issue. Cows are much bigger than people. Well, yeah, but not really. I mean, I've been around cows. I have never heard one fart. I've never smelt one fart. I'm sure they do because all mammals fart. But, I mean, it's not like they're nonstop farting 24/7. You know? And Derek says a cow fart will knock you down from the smell and the velocity. That's probably true. What about a dog fart? My dogs fart something terrible, man. I mean, they'll clear a room, okay? And they're little dogs. That's like, Jesus, what the hell curled up that dog's ass and died, you know? But that's what I'm saying. It's ignorant. The whole idea is that all mammals fart. You know, some birds don't, because I remember years ago when I was a teenager, I had this friend, he was a nutcase. He would take Alka-Seltzer and feed them to the seagulls, and you'd see them, they'd pick it up, they'd eat it, and next thing you know, they'd hit the ground dead. Because they can't fart or burp. So they would literally explode from the Alka-Seltzer foaming up in their bodies. It was screwed up. So that's how I learned that birds don't fart or burp. But all mammals fart and burp. Elephants, tigers, lions. If it's a mammal, it will fart. It doesn't matter what you feed the dog, Dicker. Or Daryl. It's gonna stink. My dogs eat mostly dog food, but sometimes we give them people food too. It doesn't matter. Their farts stink. You know, and especially when they get older. You know, Roxy, my oldest one, she's 14, and she's a little dog. She's about 22 pounds. And she'll start farting, and you can hear her fart. She actually makes noise. But then the smell comes, and it's bad. And you literally got to get up and leave the room. It's real bad. So how come all these other animals farting is not causing a problem? Only the cows. All right? Now, keep in mind that one of the only things that we regularly eat are cows. I mean, deer fart, but deer are not processed the way cows are. You know, in other words, it's hard to find deer meat in the store. But you're going to find burgers and steak and everything else from the cow. So, and I think that's the only reason they want people to stop eating meat. That's all it is. And we need meat because without meat, you'll turn into a woman. You'll really become very effeminate. You'll lose your manliness and your aggressiveness because meat is important for men. You know. Derek says the gas from the gas line explosion put more gas in the atmosphere than all the cows and people and 1 million cars for a year. I believe it. That's what I'm saying. You know, it's bullshit. Pull my finger. My dad used to do that. Hey, son, pull my finger. You know, he was a master at farting. But hey, that's not my finger. No. Especially old people. Old people fart constantly. You know, I have a friend. She's older and she's like in her 80s. And she'll start walking. That's all you hear. I mean, just every step she's farting, you know. We don't say nothing because I'm sure it's embarrassing for her, but you know. But it happens because that's what happens when you get old, as a rule. Not always, but mostly. So, all this farting going on, cows should be the least of our issue or concern. Yeah, Kyle says, I don't eat meat now, but that's by choice, thinking of giving it a try again. You really should, Kyle, because it really is good for you. You don't have to eat a lot, but there are certain things in meat that you can't get in anywhere else. Vitamins, minerals, and whatever. There's iron, there's potassium, there's a lot of good stuff in meat, And you can get lean meat. It doesn't hurt it any. Any kind of meat is good, basically. I've always been a meat eater. I've got to have my meat, And I tell you what, I would never eat a near or a fake burger. By the way, what's it called? The Beyond Meat or Beyond Burgers. The CEO of that company just got arrested, and the company's getting shut down because they lied about the nutritional value in those fake plant-based burgers. That should tell you all you need to know right there. Gerald says, my friend had an old Irish setter. Its fart would drive the full family out into the snow. I believe it. Steak is too delicious not to eat, says Digger. You got that right, Digger. You give me a steak any day of the week, man. Derek says one volcanic eruption puts more shit in the air than all of the pollution from the whole globe can produce in 10 years. That's true, too. And they're not concerned about that, right? And we've had a lot of volcanic explosions lately. But the thing is, no, that's not true, Kyle. The fake meats, it's plant-based, and it's a vegan burger, if there's such a thing. And I won't eat one. I got to have the real meat or nothing. The thing about the earth is, no matter what we do to it, it recovers. We'll probably be dead long before the planet's dead. And like I said, natural things happen, like volcanoes, hurricanes, tornadoes. All these disasters happen constantly. Fires, How much pollution does a forest fire cause? Especially when it's burning for weeks or maybe months, But nobody says nothing about that. And the earth recovers from it just fine, It's a little smoky for a while until it dissipates. And then the air is pure and clean again. The earth is a pretty tough planet, Gerald says, wait a minute. Digger says they're going to be blockading the volcanoes next. Yeah, I like to see them try. You can't cork them suckers, let me tell you. Gerald says if we were not supposed to eat animals, why are they made out of meat? Good question, Gerald. We're supposed to eat them out. We're omnivores, Now, like the dinosaurs, most of them were herbivores, they were vegetarians. They were vegan, And then, our omnivores, we eat everything. We eat both vegetable and meat. And we're supposed to eat both. Derek says the climateers can't even tell you if the planet is warming or cooling. For years it was cooling, now it's warming, so they have to change from global warming. Well, yeah, because they got busted with the whole global warming thing. When that other idiot, what the hell was his name? The guy that ran for president? I can't think of his name now, but he was saying that they had planned 2 global warming summits. All right? And both times they had to cancel them because it was so cold. Yeah, Al Gore. They had to cancel the global warming summit because it was snowed in. Something wrong with this picture, right? It's all horseshit. We don't, and I've said this before. We've only been monitoring the weather and studying the weather for roughly about 200 years, which is nothing because we have no idea what is normal for a weather pattern on this planet that's been around for, well, I believe we've only been here for 10,000, but the scientists say billions of years. Whoever's right doesn't matter, but we haven't studied the weather long enough to know what is cyclic. We know that we know to some degree that there was a mini ice age not that long ago, and then it warmed up for a little while not that long ago, and then it went back, and it goes back and forth. So we don't really know what's normal. Remember in the Middle Ages and the Dark Ages, if people want to know what the weather was, they stuck their head out the window. Is it raining? Yeah, okay, we'll stay in the house today. If the sun is out, we'll go out and play and do whatever we got to do. They didn't have any weathermen. There weren't satellites or any of that stuff to tell them what was going to happen. And if a natural disaster, a hurricane or a tornado came, they were screwed because there was no warning system at all. And like I said, these are the same people that's going to tell us that the Earth is going to die in 12 years, and they can't even predict tomorrow's weather accurately. But they know for a fact that the Earth's ecology is going to collapse in 12 years. Bullshit. Digger says if you're not meant to eat something, it will taste nasty. If you're meant to eat it, it will taste delicious. That's how the body works. That's mostly true, Digger. I'm not big. I don't like a lot of vegetables because I can't hold them down. But my dad, he loved vegetables, but you're right. Basically, I mean, there's certain animals you shouldn't eat, and they won't taste well because you're not really supposed to eat them. Daryl says, "Yep, Derek, so true. It's all about money and where from our pockets." That's true. Gerald Store, weather. Yeah, they did have a weather rock for a long time. I remember that. That's still a joke. The weather rock. If the rock is wet, it means it's been raining. If it's dry, it means it's a sunny day. I remember that one all too well. Derek says Al Gore said the ice was melting and the polar bears were dying. Then they checked 10 years later and the ice was thicker and the polar bear population had a large increase. Yes, I remember that as well. And even if the polar ice caps melt, how do we know it's not supposed to? And let me tell you something. If they melt, the seas will not rise, they'll go down. Because solids displace more area than liquid does. And you should probably remember that from grade school, especially you older guys that are up around my age and whatever. We learned that in elementary school. So, it isn't going to make a difference. Kyle says, is the Earth changing? Yes, it is. It's getting hotter or colder. Hard to say. One day it's extremely hot and it's global warming. Next day it's snowing in places never before. It's global cooling. Exactly, Kyle. Like I said, we don't really know. Maybe it's normal. I mean, do we affect the weather? Yes, to some degree. And I've seen it even in Naples. When I first moved to Naples in 1969, there was nothing there. It was mostly woods. There was downtown Naples, there was Naples Park, and there was East Naples, and there was Pine Ridge. All right? 41 was still single lane, 2-lane road. It was cooler then. But that's because you had more shade. You didn't have all the concrete and asphalt. And of course, 40 years later, the place is built up like Miami. It's a little warmer there. That's normal because, we do influence the weather with our building techniques. Concrete does not reflect heat well, and neither does asphalt. But it's not enough to make a big difference, And even the climate change idiots, they say, well, the temperature is going to go up by half a degree Celsius in the next 10 years if we don't do something. Half a degree, really? Who the Fuck cares? You know? If it's going to go up 20 degrees, we may have a problem. But half a degree? Really? I mean, on any given day, the temperature swing 10, 20 degrees either way. It's just, it's stupid, you know? As I said, these people, they need to all be stood up somewhere and gunned down with a 50 caliber belt fed. You know? If we were supposed to eat all vegetables, we would have flat teeth like a cow. We would also have canines, which are for ripping and tearing. Oh, but we also have canines, which are for ripping and tearing meat like wolves. You're absolutely right, Derek. Our whole anatomical structure is designed to eat meat as well as vegetables. Not only that, but I've known a lot of vegetarians in my life. And especially the kids, they're always sickly because a vegan diet does not give you all the vitamins and minerals that you need to build a good immune system. And most vegans, if they're honest, will tell you they supplement the shit out of their diets. They take all kinds of vitamins, minerals, all kinds of boosters of this and that, because even they know that a vegan diet is not nutritionally sound. You know, especially now, even the vegetables have no real nutritional quality like they had maybe 50 years ago. Digger says the earth used to be nice and warm in most places. Well, it was at some point, and then it was cold in others. Like I said, the climate does in fact change, but it may be normal. I don't think we're making that much of a difference on things. And it's certainly not the cows. You know, he said cows have been around since day one. Let's see what else. Oh, this world-ending chat. I'm now cleaning my guts and getting my backpack ready. I'll be on the move shortly. I'm not going to bug out because I'm in a good place now as it is. And in my neighborhood, everybody's well armed. So, and we trust each other. And there's really nowhere to go anyway, so, you know. I mean, look, if the world's going to end, it's going to end. You can't do anything about it anyway. You try and survive it, but if you don't, shit happens, right? Most vegans don't have any muscle tone, says Derek. You're absolutely right, Derek. You know, like you said, they're weak and they have poor immune systems. They're prone to sickness. It's just not a good way to go because you're not getting all the things that are involved with meat, fish, chicken, whatever. You know. And a pure vegan won't eat anything that came from an animal. They don't eat eggs. They certainly don't eat meat. You know. And it's kind of funny because they say, well, we don't want to eat anything that's alive. Well, you think the plants aren't alive, you idiot? You know, they're alive, trust me. So you need to drink alcohol to get your vitamins. If you say so, Gerald. Hey, alcohol has its place. And I think it's normal when what the weather does just now, it's more reported. That's true too, Digger, you know? Everything is instantaneous now. Back in the day, you heard about things kind of after the fact in most cases, you know. Kyle says, oh, big time, I take lots of supplements just to get enough vitamins, iron, and other stuff. Oh, I do too, because even the regular foods don't have enough in them because we're not farming by biblical practice anymore. There was a specific way to farm that would not destroy the nutrients in the soil. We're no longer doing that. Plus, they're putting all these bullshit chemicals into the foods, which, you know, they're harming us in a lot of different ways. Derek says, Daryl, are you watching NASCAR while you're watching this like me? Daryl says, yep, Jim, so true, really nowhere to go. And there really isn't, you know. It is what it is. I mean, I'm in a rural area anyway, so I'm happy. That's why I wanted to get out of the city anyway. Now Naples wasn't real big, like compared to New York or L.A. or anything like that, but it was still big enough to where, and there was a lot of Democrats there, so it could have gotten ugly if the shit hit the fan. You know. So here I'm surrounded by conservatives. I'm conservative, and I think if push come to shove, we would somewhat take care of each other. And if not, somebody's going to get a bullet. But, you know, it is what it is. I don't know how bad things are going to get, to be honest. I mean, you listen to some of the fear mongers, they're going, you know, we're all screwed. Well, maybe we are. I don't know. Then again, maybe things will get better because of it. I mean, sometimes you got to go through a little hell before you get to heaven. Jim, tried to go live stream on my computer, could not. It restricted on YouTube, not my iPod. That's weird. You might have to check your settings on your, well, what browser are you using? Are you using Chrome or Brave or what? Daryl says, no, Derek, actually watching the Naked Gardeners channel. That sounds interesting. Oh, you're on an iPad? Well, there you go. Sorry. I don't deal with Mac stuff. I don't know enough about it. But you probably have a setting in there you're going to have to change. Kyle says, the way I feel, eat what you want. If it doesn't affect you, then continue eating what you have. If it's affecting you, change your diet. That's true. And everything in moderation too, you know. You know, you could die from drinking too much water. So the thing is, use moderation, just use common sense. I meant your live stream. Oh, my live stream? I don't know. That's weird, but like I said, I'm not familiar with the whole iPod, iPad thing, and Macs and all that. Apple Mac. I know nothing about them. I don't know how to help you on that. Derek says, vegetables used to be much healthier, but in the late 60s, you stopped turning the crops back into the ground to rot. Yeah, exactly. That's biblical farming technique. So now the soil is depleted and you need to eat 20 times as 20 carrots do equal to one. Yeah, exactly. Like I said, any vegetable, you need like 10, 20 bowls of the vegetable to get what you used to get in one. It's ridiculous. Gerald says your iPad may be set up for kids. Yeah, if you got the parental controls on, because my live stream is not for kids. Yeah, it could probably block it. I don't know. Check your settings and see what you can do. Thanks for that, Gerald. Like I said, I don't know much about that stuff. If it's a PC, I understand. If it's an iPad, no, not so much. It's my computer. Okay. Is it a Mac or an Apple, or is it a IBM clone? And I think on any computer, actually, I think you can restrict certain things that are not for kids. So you might want to check your settings. Check your YouTube settings. Yeah, that too. Like I said, there are a whole bunch of settings that one of them could be off. I don't know. So, what else is going on? I don't know. I'll tell you one thing, though. If we don't put these people in their place really soon, these lunatics, they're going to screw it up for everybody. You know. I mean, this whole thing of going green is not going to work because we're not technologically advanced enough to go green. YouTube said on my computer restrict because of language. Yeah, you gotta uncheck that box. That could have been my fault, you know. I've been known to cuss here and there. I try and be careful when I'm online, but not always. Sorry. So yeah, I mean, like I said, these lunatics, they've, okay, you know, the petards, you know, the PETA people. That's a good one for you. This is a long time ago. I think I was only about 30 years old at the time. And I walk into a Publix, and the PETA people were there, you know, people for the ethical treatment of animals, which is all baloney anyway. But Charles said YouTube thinks you're a child. Yeah, you better straighten them out there, Scott. So anyway, I walk into Publix, and the PETA people are having a display in there, and they're all dressed as cats, like house cats, you know, the fake ears and the little whiskers and everything. They're kind of cute, really, but still whack. So they had a lynx in a cage. Now you know what a lynx is? It's a cat with no tail. They're natural, but I think they're almost extinct. I don't think there's a lot of them. I know they're on an endangered list. Anyway, they had the thing in the cage there, and they were handing out pamphlets. So I went up to one of the girls and I said, I had a question for you. She said, what's that? He says, how do you prepare that? I thought she was going to have a stroke right then and there. I couldn't help it. I had to do it, you know. After she finally recovered and composed herself, she started screaming at me. You don't eat those. They're endangered species. I said, it's an animal. It's food. I want to know how you prepare it because I'll eat the damn thing, you know. I had to get out of there. They'd have probably strung me up before long. I mean, they were really mad at me, but I couldn't help myself, you know. And Gerald, PETA stands for People Eating Tasty Animals. Well, for most of us, anyway. The funniest thing, they didn't have video recorders back then because I would have videotaped it. You should have seen the look on that woman's face when I asked her how to prepare that lynx. It's priceless. Scott, you'll be 52 next month. Well, happy pre-birthday. 52 is young. I wish I was 52 again. I'll trade you. You could do my 63. I'll take your 52. So, you know, and then there was one. I didn't see it in person, but it was last year, I think, and it was in a grocery store. It wasn't Publix. That was another one. Maybe it was a Kroger's, I think, and they had a bunch of these petards, we call them, and they were half naked, and they covered themselves with ketchup and fake blood, and they were all laying on the floor in front of the meat section. You know, and I'm thinking to myself, what the hell's wrong with these people, you know? Now, personally, if I'd have been in the store, I'd have probably stepped on a few of them, you know. Maybe kicked a few of them here and there, you know, to get them out of my way, because I don't care, you know. I'm a real asshole when it comes to that stuff. I'm sorry, but that's just the way it is, you know. I understand if you're passionate about something, but doing something like that is not passionate, it's stupid. You know. And you're not helping your cause any. You're just making yourself look like the idiots that you actually are. You know, who comes up with it? Do they get up in the morning and say, you know what? Let's get half naked, throw some ketchup on ours, and go lay down in front of the meat section at the nearest grocery store to protest animals or the eating of animals? You know, what the hell are they thinking? Joe Rader says, hey Jim, we'll be going live myself in probably about an hour. I have a visitor coming. I'll be off long before that. But that's cool to know. I'll look out for it. So, you know, I mean, there's just something wrong with these people. Yeah, and I think they just want attention, to be honest with you. You know, they probably have completely boring lives that nobody likes them, nobody wants to talk to them. So they're looking for attention, and this is how they get it. If I'm wrong, tell me, but I'm pretty sure that that's what it comes down to. Yeah. If I were going to protest something, I wouldn't do it that way. You know. It's like dumping gallons of milk in the grocery store to protest dairy farms. Really? Joe said, Mommy made them leave the basement. That could be. Or maybe they're still in the basement. Who knows? Oh, we got a link here. What's this? YouTube channel. Is that your naked gardening channel? I'm pretty sure there's nobody naked though, right? I mean, I'd watch it if there was, but you know. Oh, craziness. I'll tell you what, you know. Yeah, I just don't know. The world is a crazy place, and people just seem to be getting crazier and crazier every day. Just when you thought nobody can get any dumber, somebody's going to prove you wrong. And how stupid can you get is not a challenge question. Although, obviously, some of these people think it is. And that's probably the real reason why we're all model train enthusiasts, because it's simple. Yep, the naked gardener. Hey Joe, who's your guest? Yeah, really, who is your guest? Are you not going to tell us? You're going to have to make us wait and be surprised? That'd be cool either way. Do y'all remember when protesters would throw a bucket? Yeah. Well, it was stupid to begin with, Gerald, because, all right, so these women who had fur coats paid a fortune for them, okay, probably thousands of dollars. So some dumbass throws blood on it or paint or whatever, ruins the coat. So what happens? She goes out and buys another one and kills how many more minks to get a new coat? And I mean, the first time I saw it happen, I'm thinking, that's really stupid. You know, you just destroyed a coat that took maybe 20 or 30 animals to create. And trust me, that woman is not going to get, she's not going to just say, oh, well, I don't need a fur coat anyway. She's going to go out and buy another one, and 20 or 30 more animals are going to have to die for that. It was really counterproductive. I mean, think about it. And you're right, though. A couple of them did get, I would have shot them. You screw with my stuff, you're going to get a bullet. I don't care, you know. Joe says he's not going to tell us. All right, we'll just have to wait and see. And Derek says, Daryl, naked everything, Pornhub, LOL. Okay. I have to check that out. Where's that link again? Let me open that up. Oh, it won't let me open it up. Damn it. Or will it? Yeah, there you go. Okay. The Naked Gardener. Oh, she's topless anyway. I better bookmark that. Chickens, all right. All right, thanks for that link there, Daryl. Naked's always good. See, Joe, it's a Heath unboxing for the guest. Could be. I don't look good naked anymore. I don't think any of us do, Gerald. You see me naked, you can't unsee that, and your eyes will never be the same. It's not good. But, you know, it is what it is. Big Jim, Daryl never said it was a woman. Could be Mr. Johnson holding carrots. That's true. It could be. Oh, it's bad. Hey, you know, you're right. Now I think about it, could, you know, we just assume it'd be a woman, but because nobody wants to see naked men. Even the women really don't want to see naked men. You know, we want to see naked women because women are a thing of beauty. Men, not so much. All right, Kyle. We'll see you later, man. Thanks for stopping by. Have a good what's left of the weekend, and we'll see you Thursday, hopefully. Oh, man. Oh, it brings a tear to my eye. Oh. I should do this more often. This is kind of fun. Lots of vendors. Saturday morning was okay. Today, not so much. Oh, you mean at Timonium? Yeah, was there a lot of people there at all? I mean, even yesterday? Jerry says, yeah, you should. I don't know, maybe. I mean, when I'm bored, I got nothing to do. What the hell? I might come on here because these are fun. But then again, Jerry, yours are fun too. Now, I haven't seen any of yours lately. Are you still going on every day or not? Yesterday seemed okay, says Joe. Yeah, because I watched the two live streams, the one from Sparky yesterday morning and the one from Heath in the early afternoon. And it didn't look like there was a lot of people there. So I kind of thought it'd be packed, you know, because it's one of the bigger shows. Not really, Jim. I'm kind of burnt out from it. Oh, okay. Well, that explains why I haven't seen you, because I'm on the computer pretty much all the time, and, you know, and I'm always searching YouTube for anybody who might have something new or a live stream or whatever when I can. And for a while there, you were literally on every day. I don't know. I never run out of things to talk about, so I'm not really worried about it getting stale. You know, there's always something to talk about. So, Derek says Sparky's video showed mini prints doing HO models of the people that were there. Yeah, I was watching it. Well, I came in. Well, I was watching the replay. I didn't see the live stream, but they had Plumber. He was doing his thing with the skateboard. It looked pretty cool. The first guy they had there, I thought was a mannequin. I mean, the guy was really, I mean, he was holding a pocket watch, and he looked like he was from the 1800s, and he's slowly spinning around. I really didn't know what was going on. I'm going, that's a mannequin up there. What the hell they got a mannequin there for? And next thing you know, he gets off of it, and Plumber gets on. I'm going, oh, shit. They're scanning it. So that was pretty cool. I wish I could have went up there to get myself scanned so I could have an HO figure of myself. That would be cool. I'd get one done to the wife, too. Maybe even the dogs. Although, it'd be hard to keep the dogs still that long, though. Daryl says, here you I'm burnt out. Yeah, that's true. You do. I mean, a lot of the guys, they drop out of this stuff after a while because... Well, even Sparky dropped out for the most part. I think mostly because he was running out of things to talk about or show. Gerald says, I don't believe is there a train show in the world that I would drive 2,500 miles away to see? Well, you're right about that, Gerald. He says that it would have been 1,000 miles for me and each way, and I just, I would have liked to have went, but the reality is, I don't have the money or really even, maybe even the health to do it. I don't know. I certainly didn't have the money. I mean, that's like, Tom. And Tom's a good guy. I like Tom. But he went up to Georgia, Atlanta, I think it was, for that one show. And went up spending 2 nights, overnight up there. Spent a ton of money. And then when he came back, he said, this is what I got from the show. I got a really good deal on it. And I'm thinking, yes and no. You got a good deal on the component, but you want to pay $300 or $400 to get there to get it. I'm not putting him down or anything, don't get me wrong, but, that's a lot. I mean, he's okay because he gets money, He gets a lot of money from us members and whatever, and people are always giving him super chats, so it's not actually coming out of his pocket. If I had an income like that, I might be doing the same thing, but not to that extent. I mean, I'll stay in the state, I'm not going out of state to do it to a trade show. It's not going to happen. Yeah, I know, Joe. Tom was there too. He was also on at what's his name, Bobel's house just today, I guess, or yesterday maybe. eBay train show is a lot closer. I didn't know eBay had a train show. That's cool. Some of us can't get body scanned. There is a 3-foot max width. Oh, I'm okay. I didn't know that there was a maximum width. Huh, that's weird. I wonder why. Gerald, is that both ways? No, I don't think it's both ways. Derek. Less than 3 foot tall and less than 3 foot wide, that would be a problem. Gerald, is that I got that? The bunch went to Ray Bobel last night after the show. Yeah, they were in his basement. I watched that this morning. They had a blast too, by the looks of it. I would have liked to. That's I'm more interested in the meet and greets than I am the shows, because if I go to a train show, I'm going to spend money. Okay, I'm sure most of us do. So, like I said, it doesn't pay for me to drive a crazy distance to save a few dollars on a train thing. It just doesn't make sense. Gerald says there's a circle you have to fit in. Oh yeah, the way he's got it set up. But they're not all like that. It's just his particular scanner. Because I've seen people scan cars and houses and everything else. It can be done, and that's well over 3 foot. So I think it's just his setup there limits people to a 3 foot maximum. I couldn't make it to Ray's. My truck died Friday. Oh yeah, Joe, I forgot about that. Sucks. Yeah, you would have had a blast there. I mean, them guys. It was like a bunch of kids, It was funny. So, but that's where I would have had more fun meeting everybody. That's why I wanted to go to Strasbourg. I wasn't really interested in seeing any of the train. I mean, yeah, I would have checked them out because I was there, but I wasn't going to drive, 800 miles or 900, whatever it was, from here just to see a train. I wanted to meet the people. So, and he had food. That's true, Joe. And beer. Everybody walk around with beer in their hand. So, like I said, them guys must have had a blast. And that's cool. The Anthony was there, Ray Bobel, that was his house. Hot Rod Rodney was there, which I thought was unusual. You don't see much of Rodney anymore. And who else was there? Tom was there. Heath was there, obviously. Sparky was there. There's a few other guys. I don't remember who they were now, but Plummer was there. You met Plumber Saturday. That's cool. He looks like a fun guy to be around. You know. As I said, unfortunately, I live way down here in the south in Florida, and most of the meet and greets are up north or out west, and that's even worse. And there's really not much chance that I'm going to make it to any of them. You know. Which sucks, but it is what it is. Now, if they ever have a meet and greet, say in Georgia or Florida, I'll be there. You know, that's not that far away, and I could do that without any. Even South Carolina, I would go. That's as far as I would go, though. You know. But any farther than that, it's just too far. You know. Derek says, "Hey Gerald, if a fat guy wants to do it and he's 3 foot 6 inches wide, the scanner could eliminate the 6 inches, and the dude would be skinnier. Win-win. LOL." Yeah, right. That could work, I guess. I don't know. It would probably be screwed up, though, I would think. I'm pretty big, but thank God I'm not that big yet. But I got to be careful. Hey, Tom Grassi, how you doing? You're missing all the fun, man. I think that's the one thing a lot of us model railroaders have in common. We're all overweight. Most of us. Not all of us, but most of us seem to be a little on the large side, you know. Joe says, when my guest arrives, Daryl, figure maybe an hour. So around 6 o'clock then? Oh, man. So, Tom, I got to ask you. Now, I kind of asked you on the email, but are you going to keep both printers, or are you eventually going to send the old one back as a defect? I know you got a ton of money tied up in both of them. Gerald says, if you fly to Toronto, Bernard has bigger scanners. Okay. I don't think I'd go to Toronto just to get a picture of myself, though. Derek says, yeah, Big Jim, model railroading ain't marathoning. That's a fact. Most of the time we're sitting on our butts, right? And, you know, it's an old guy hobby. I mean, let's face it. Most of us, not all, but most of us are old guys, you know. And what happens when you get old? You usually get fat, you know, because we're not doing the marathons anymore, so. Boy, I wasn't always fat. Prior to my stroke, I was pretty trim, you know. And I had a pretty decent body, not perfect. I didn't have six-pack abs or anything, but I was only like maybe 2 or 3 pounds overweight. Let's see, Tom Grash says, my new 3D printer arrived today, and I'm printing 55-gallon drums now, has about 5 minutes to go. Yes, keeping them both. Okay, well, that's cool. Well, you said the new one's a little smaller build plate on it. Because I know the first one you bought, the one that's broken right now, has a fairly large build plate on it, which is pretty cool. A lot of under 30s people at the show. Really? That's kind of unusual. I would have figured that most people were older. A lot of them might have just been spectators too. Who knows? We need to chase trains literally. Yeah, Gerald. Knock yourself out. I'll watch. Benny, Thomas, Sparky, Darryl, all thin. That's true. Well, Vinny's old, and he's lucky. You know, I don't think he eats as well as most of us. Sparky, well, he's Canadian. I think you don't see too many fat Canadians. Daryl, yeah, Daryl's thin. Thomas is thin too. And that could just be genetics. I don't know. Or maybe they take better care of themselves than the rest of us. I don't know. It can be done. Sure. I am old and only 185. Well, you're lucky, Joe. I was 160 until my stroke. So like I said, my arms were twice the size they are now. My biceps, I mean, they were huge, and it was all muscle. And I didn't have a belly at all. I said I didn't have six-pack abs, but there was really no fat in my belly, so I looked pretty good. Joe Rader thin. Yeah, there you go. Digger says, go to put you on mute and take a call. Be right back. Okay. Gerald says, I was 185 at 17. How tall are you, Gerald? Because the weight isn't as big a deal as your height. You know, if you're tall, 185 ain't nothing. Joe says, I was 185 when I got out of the military in 72. Okay, you guys are probably taller, right? I imagine. I was 5'7". I lost an inch in the last 15 years, but 5'7", 160 pounds tops. And I think most of it really was muscle. 5'8". Yeah, that's a good height. Joe was 6 foot, so you were kind of skinny then. At that 185. You know, if you're 4 foot tall and 130, you're still a fat ass. You know, if you're 7 foot tall and 130, you're a beanball. So it all depends on your height, really. But you know, and a lot of it's the food. You know, like you said, the food's not good anymore. We're not eating as nutritionally as we did, say, 50 years ago. And that's an absolute fact, you know. As I said, when I was a kid, everybody was skinny. And we all ate well, but my mother made home-cooked meals. There was no microwaves. There was no fast food. I mean, we had McDonald's. It was about 50 miles away. My dad would take us there once a year as a treat, you know. And there was no other fast food. I mean, we had a couple of pizza joints, and I think there was the chicken place. What the hell's the name of it? Can't think of it. Well, you know what I'm talking about. They were the only two fast food joints, and they weren't really considered fast food. And they were still nutrition. They had nutrition in them. No, not KFC. The other one. Damn, I can't remember the name of it. I'm losing my mind. Chick-fil-A. Chick-fil-A was, we had a Chick-fil-A and we had one pizza joint. And we came from the small town, Carteret, in Jersey. I never ate at Mickey D's as a kid. I'll tell you what, Jerry, they were good back then. Now, I was only, I think, 8 years old the first time I ate at McDonald's. I said my dad would literally drive 50 miles to get to the McDonald's, so we didn't have one anywhere near us, and there was no other fast food places. The burgers were 15 cents, and they were huge. It was real meat, and it was an excellent burger, you know, for 15 cents. You know, but they're shit now. I mean, that's just the way it is. We're probably all going to live longer, though, because we're filled with preservatives. Yeah, maybe, Derek. I don't know. Jerry said, I remember Geno's. Yeah, I remember Geno's, too. That was the next town over from where I was at. Joe Rader says, 19 cents with cheese. Yeah, exactly. They were dirt cheap. It was real food. It was good. Their French fries were excellent. I mean, it looks like they took their time to make the food. I mean, they didn't call themselves fast food at the time. You know, that kind of morphed into that down the road, but it was just prepared food And it was sort of homemade, really. I mean, they were actually making everything from scratch. You know, now they don't do any of that. But, you know. But the rest of the food, my mother, she made, we had meat, we had either hamburger, steak, pork chops. We ate liver, believe it or not, because that was like a poor man's steak. My mother did a good job. I wouldn't eat it today. But when I was a kid growing up, she made the best liver. And it was really good, and we had no problem eating it, you know. They make coffee from scratch. Do they, Jerry? I don't drink coffee, so, you know. I think I drank coffee twice in my entire life. Never really acquired a taste for it. It's okay. It's just not something I need every morning. Daryl says, what's funny is here in California, I see way more chicken places being built than hamburger joints. Well, that's because they're trying to do away with cows, you know. That's the only thing they make you eat. Yeah, you're probably right, Sherry. I know. My wife, Deb, she bought coffee from McDonald's not too long ago, and she said it was the worst coffee ever. And it must have been like pure caffeine because she was up for 2 days. I don't know. I said, I'm not a coffee drinker, but yeah, I like my caffeine cold and carbonated. Or used to anyway. I'm not even allowed to drink it anymore. Joe Ray says, hate liver, mom fixed it, and it was always like hitting combat boots. Now my mother made it. She fried it, and it was in onions, and what the hell else was in there? White powder. I don't know what the hell it was. But it came out good. I mean, it didn't have that nasty liver taste that most people remember, and it wasn't rubbery. You know, it was not bad. But I haven't eaten it since then, you know. And my mother, she would make all kinds of food that I couldn't eat anyway, you know. Like I said, I'm not big on vegetables. I don't like spinach. I don't like peas. I don't like artichokes. You know, any of those weird foods I just don't eat, you know. I will not eat liver and onions. I don't blame you. You know, like I said, it's not for everybody. Today I wouldn't eat it, you know. And we didn't know what it was back then. You know, we figured it was meat. We didn't know it was a damn organ. You know. Like I won't eat chicken gizzards or hearts. I don't eat any of that stuff, man. I just don't do it. You know. I'll eat the chicken meat, but I don't eat none of the insides. So I'm sorry. You know. I won't eat cow brains or cow tongue. You know. Pig's feet, I don't eat those either, you know. Some people like it, and that's fine, you know, it's your own taste, that's cool, but not me. Liver and onions was the only thing that Chow Hall could make worth a shit. Well, like I said, it wasn't that bad the way my mother made it. You know. She was an excellent cook anyway. She used to make the potato pancakes, the Hungarian style potato pancakes. Man, them things were good. We would eat them as fast as she pulled them out of the deep fryer. And I love those things, and really nobody can make them anymore. I asked her for the recipe once, and she was mad at me at the time, refused to give it to me. And when she finally says, I asked her again, she's going to get it, I forgot how to do it. Oh, come on. You know. Because I'm not a bad cook either, but I've looked up recipes for it, and I have not found the Hungarian recipe for it. I've found the Russian, the Jewish, the Chinese, the Italian, the English, everybody's recipe except for the one that I like. So, it is what it is. Derek says, I don't think liver is healthy for you. It filters all the harmful things from the body, and it's still in there when you eat it. As said earlier, it tastes terrible. You shouldn't eat it. Well, you're right. I mean, it's an organ, and it is a filter. And I never understood. That's probably why I won't eat it now, because I know what it is. You know. I don't eat regular hot dogs for the same reason, because they throw all kinds of crap that nobody eats into a hot dog. If I eat a hot dog, it's an all beef. Usually I get the Angus beef hot dogs. There's no fillers, there's no pork, there's no parts, just beef. You know. Same with bologna. I'll eat turkey bologna, but I won't eat the regular bologna because it's all fillers. It's the same thing as a hot dog, basically, without the tube. Let's see. And Joe says, a friend won't eat eggs because it comes from a chicken's butt. It doesn't really come from the chicken's butt. It's actually called the vent. It's a chicken's vagina, actually. But they call it a vent. So, no, it doesn't actually shit out eggs. Gerald says, lips and assholes are still beef. Yeah, they are, but not the kind of beef I eat. Derek says, hey, Joe, tell your friend it's not from the chicken's ass. Does your friend eat pussy? He probably doesn't. If he won't eat an egg, he ain't eating pussy either. No, Derek, he's a black. Oh, there you go. The only blacks that eat pussy are the ones you see in the porn films. In real life, they don't do it. And a lot of Hispanics won't either. They won't eat anything to stick their dick in. I don't know why. That's bad. It's funny, but still bad. I don't know. Like I said, I'm a picky eater. I don't deny it. There's a lot of things I simply don't eat. And mostly because I can't keep them down. I'll puke them right up. I mean, I think it's a texture issue. That's why I can't eat peas, because the texture on a pea does something as it's going down my throat and comes right back up. It's not good. Daryl says, I think they need to bring back that commercial where the older woman says, where's the beef? I remember that one, the old lady. Where's the beef? He says it bleeds for 7 days and won't die. Yeah, well, that's true. I've heard that before. Don't trust anything that bleeds for a week and doesn't die. They take that stuff way too personally, you know. I wouldn't go down on a woman while she's having her period, though. I've never done that. But I've had sex with a woman on her period. That's not a big deal. Make sure you have a towel handy because it gets a little messy. But in the old days, like in the Middle Ages or Dark Ages, they used to isolate women when they had that time of the month. They were forbidden from being around anyone. They were like considered dirty. I don't know. It's weird. TMI. Yeah, I guess it could be. Yeah, Gerald, Red Wings. Never in my Red Wings. Sorry. I'm pretty brave in a lot of things, but that's not one of them. Craziness. That's my neighbor. He asked me. He says he doesn't really know anything about chickens, you know. And he says, so if there's no rooster, can the chicken still lay an egg? I said, oh yeah. I said, just doesn't get fertilized. He goes, what do you mean? I says, well, it's just like people. You have to have a male and a female get together to fertilize the woman's egg. Otherwise, she doesn't get pregnant. It's the same with a chicken. The chicken will produce eggs every day. But if they're not fertilized, they can't turn into chicks. So I had to educate this guy, you know. Gerald says, were you ever a biker, Tom? Tom Grassi? Well, his picture on his channel shows him on a bike. So I'm assuming he's a biker. I used to be a biker. I've ridden before. That was pre-stroke, though. I don't ride anymore. Oops, Jeff. Oh, you met me. Yeah, I did. I rode it one time. I said, I got a three-wheel scooter now that I ride because I can't walk well, but I miss riding a motorcycle, but it's dangerous. And I kind of got off them a long time ago because my friends kept getting killed. It's like, hey, I'm going to be next, so it may be time to just put it away and forget about it. But I was I'm crazy driving a car. You give me 4 or 6 wheels, I'm a nutcase. I'll do 200 mile an hour with not blink an eye. You put me on a 2-wheel motorcycle, you'll be lucky you get me to do the speed limit. I think the fastest I ever rode a motorcycle was about 60, 65 miles an hour. Wouldn't go over that. So, yeah. But I've had friends, they'd get on a bike and wouldn't hesitate to do 150, 160. I think, you're nuts. If something goes wrong, you're going to die, right? Yeah, but it'll happen quick. Oh, that's true. Maybe if you're lucky. But, well, why would you do that, though? I mean, all you have to do is if you hit a pebble in the road at 150 mile an hour, you're probably going to die. Gerald said, I miss my Harley, but it's too hot here to ride. I never had a Harley. I always had the rice burners. I wanted a Harley. I couldn't afford one at the time, but I wanted a lowrider or fat boy, wanted the two. Tom says, yes, I have a 1995 Harley Sportster 1200. Fastest I went was 130. That's about top speed of those, isn't it, Tom? That's pretty fast, though. I mean, I was a passenger on a Yamaha 750, and the idiot was racing a Porsche. Of course, we beat the Porsche, because bikes always beat cars. And we did 135 down 41 at night, and it was the worst ride. I thought we were going to die. I really did. I was beating him on the back. Slow this son of a bitch down. You're going to kill us both. And if you don't, I'm going to kill you. But the Yamaha, it said it was vibrating so bad, like, it was bad. And you actually get tunnel vision at night. And all you can see is a narrow field of light in front of you. It's the weirdest thing. But, yeah, I'm just not real big on doing that. And I had another friend, he had I can't remember what the hell it was now, but it did 185. And he says, oh yeah, I did that routinely on the bike. And I'm going, you're out of your mind. Spider Master, how you doing? What's going on? Oh, everything. Joe says 68 Sportster up to 110, only did it once. There you go. Tom Grass said that was on the Garden State Parkway and others were passing me. I believe that. I said the Garden State Parkway is nuts, man. I was on there 15 or so years ago, and I was driving a Lexus. It was a woman I was moving down to Florida. I wanted to go to the store, and I took a train up there. I took the Amtrak up there, and I said, can I borrow your car? I want to go to the store. And I'd forgotten how screwed up New Jersey is. You can't make left turns anywhere. So I had to drive like 4 miles out of the way to make a right turn to go underneath or over. I don't remember. Yeah, it was over the Parkway, over the turnpike, to get on the other side of the highway. So stupid. So the store was only like a mile and a half away. I had to drive almost 5 miles to get to it. It was crazy. But anyway, yeah, you had to drive fast up there. And her Lexus was quick, let me tell you. Welcome, Spider Master. Everything but trains. Oh, yeah, well, we talked a little about trains. We try, but this is an off-the-cuff show, so. Shoreline Thursday, we try and stick to trains, but not always. Gerald says, I had a 1978 and a half lowrider 1200. Yeah, that's nice. That's what I wanted. Something like that. Because I'm short, and my dad had an electric line, believe it or not, when he was a young man. And it was in our basement in pieces when I was a kid. Because my dad was 40 years older than me. And he gave it to my Uncle Sam. My Uncle Sam was 6'4", and he rebuilt it. And it was a beautiful bike. He took me for a ride on it, and this was It was an old shovel head. I think it was a shovel head. And it didn't have electric start. You had to kickstart that sucker. And this guy was 6'4", probably close to 200 pounds, and I watched it throw him over handlebars twice. You know, and I'm thinking, yeah, I don't think so. And I couldn't ride it because you had to be tall because it had running boards and everything. Had the suicide shifter, you know, right down there underneath the gas tank. Hell, a beautiful bike, but man, you got to be insane to ride it. Daryl says I only do the posted speed limit. Yeah, probably a smart idea. At least on a bike anyway. On a car, yeah, I'm not afraid of speed in a car. Derek says, Big Jim, I wasn't complaining. It's been fun. Oh, I know. It's all in fun. Spider Master says he's been working on a Splatoon horror film. I've heard of that. Is that something you invented, or you're just doing your own variation of it? Tom says, I dumped my bike 3 times, all under 5 miles per hour. That don't count. Yeah, after I had my stroke, my stepdaughter, she bought a, what the hell was that? Was it a Yamaha or no? It was a Ninja, whatever the Ninja is. But it was a small one, a 250cc. It's like a cafe racer, you know. It's designed as such. Basically, you don't sit on it, you lay on it. So, she was out of town one day, and my wife wanted to ride the bike. I said, Deb, you've never rode a motorcycle in your life. It's not going to happen. She goes, you watch, I'm going to do it. So, she got on it, started it up. I mean, I gave her a pretty good idea on how to actually operate it. And she made it about 8 foot and dumped it. And she goes, oh, you can't ride either. I said, oh, yes, I can. You had a stroke. You can't ride anymore. So I said, watch me. I got on that thing, rode it down the street, and stopped. And my problem was I was in a lot of pain because it's so wide. And I wasn't used to spreading my legs like that since the stroke. And it was really hurting me. And I actually, I put the kickstand down, and I kind of fell off it, but on purpose, you know. I didn't dump the bike, though. The bike was standing, but I couldn't just step off of it because my thighs were hurting so bad. It was cramping up really bad. Hey, Martin, how's it going? But I can still ride, like I said, but, you know. But I would prefer a normal motorcycle. I don't like those cafe racers, man. You know. I just don't get into them. Martin says, how much are the tolls on the Garden State Parkway? Too much. Not as bad as New York, though. When I was bringing that lady back to Florida, I came across several of the bridges in New York City. Now, I had a big U-Haul and a trailer and her car on it. And I swear they must have charged me for the axles on that car too. The trailer had 2 axles. 2 axles on the truck and then 2 axles on the car. 6 axles altogether. And I was paying an average of $60 per toll. You know, it was just crazy. And I was so mad because the roads were shit up there, you know. And the last toll I went over, I said, I don't mind paying the toll, but what the hell are you doing with the money? Why don't you fix the damn roads with it? Well, you live in New York, you know. I said, no, I don't live here. I'm just happen to be driving through, and your roads suck. I mean, we have tolls down here. They're relatively cheap. In some, not here where I'm at, but on the other coast, there's some toll roads. Because you have the Sunshine Parkway, that's a toll road. Sawgrass Parkway, that's a toll road. So, but they're like, anywhere from 50 cents to $1.50 per toll. It's not too bad. It's all craziness when you get down to it. I'll tell you, riding a motorcycle in Florida is pretty close to committing suicide. It really is. Gerald says the ice screws up the roads, the worst I've seen, and we're in Pennsylvania. Yeah, that's another. I wouldn't want to ride a motorcycle on an icy road. It's tough enough in a car, and I can do it in a car because I've driven in snow and ice in the car before, but not on a motorcycle. I don't think I would fare well. I'd wind up laying it down every time probably. But yeah, people here in Florida, especially South Florida, they aim for you. If you're on a bike, it's like, look, a biker, let's run them down. And I swear they actually try and hit you, you know, or come so close that they're hoping you'll just freak out and dump the bike on your own. But I've actually seen cars purposefully hit bikers, you know. And I had a few close calls when I was on a bike too, because, you know, I had one guy, I was up at a stoplight, he was in the slow lane, I was in the fast lane. And the light turned green, we went. I didn't show off or anything, I didn't pull a wheelie. I just drove like a normal motorcycle. And we get to the next light, and he says, you know, you're an asshole. I go, I don't even know what the hell you're talking about. What's your problem? He pulls out a gun. Well, I ran the light because I figured he was going to shoot me. You know, I got the hell out of there. And I don't know what the hell was up his ass. I didn't do anything to him. He just didn't like bikes, I guess. They said people down here, they're kind of stupid when it comes to that. Gerald says ice heaves up and destroys blacktop. Yeah, I guess it could. Tom Grassy says I got caught in a snowstorm once on my bike. Went on my bike. That was a treat. Yeah, I wouldn't call it a treat. I've been caught in the rain on a bike. And I never wore a helmet. Okay, you're supposed to, but I got a few tickets for not wearing a helmet. I didn't care. The helmet I felt was more of a deterrent than a blessing. And I figured if you're going to get hit, you're going to die anyway, whether you got a helmet on or not, you know. And one of my friends, he got run over by a semi, ran over his chest. He had a helmet on, and that's where his head wound up when they found it down the road. The pressure of the truck popped his head off. It was still in the helmet. Well, the helmet didn't do him any damn good, you know. So I never wore a helmet, and I'll tell you what, ain't nothing worse than getting hit with rain at 40, 50, 60 miles an hour. It's like getting stung by 1,000 wasps simultaneously. It was painful. Fortunately, I wore glasses, so I didn't have to worry about my eyes too much. But so I tried to plan my motorcycle trips on good days where there was no rain. Well, damn, it's almost 5:30. I gotta eat dinner. And I'm hungry anyway, and I think I'm just gonna... I think for now I'm gonna give up with that overlay on the live stream until I figure out what's going on. There's something I'm either not doing right or there's a compatibility problem with OBS. I'll figure it out eventually, but right now I'm just not going to worry about it. Anyway, thanks for swinging around, guys, and hanging out with me and, you know, chewing the fat for a while. Yeah, I'll see you again next time. I don't know when that'll be, but at the latest it'll be Thursday for my live stream at 6 o'clock on Thursday. Yeah, I might do that, Gerald, because, you know, it's bugging me, and I've got to beat this thing somehow, so I'll figure it out. But thanks for that advice. Thanks, guys. Job printer, great. Now drying them off, cool. Should do a quick video on those, Tom. All right, guys. Listen, have a good night. Spend the rest of your weekend, what's left of it, and we'll see you Thursday, or maybe sooner. You never know. And Derek wants to know, is she still gardening? Maybe. Alright guys, we'll see you later. Have a good one, everyone.